Spoilers follow, and be sure to check the description for content warnings.
I met you picking up a haggis. Everything seemed to be just right. But then an article changed the way I think about you. Coincidences filled me with fright. Harriet, don't murder me. Don't murder me. Please don't end my life in the first degree. Are you really homicidal, dear? Or do I have cold feet?
Ooh.
I love you and everything, so please don't murder me. Was a
So good.
rendition of Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me by Elton John.
Charlie is finally facing his anxiety over marriage, but is the woman he fell for a serial killer axe murderer? And did Charlie really shit his pants at Niagara Falls? We find out one of these things in 1993's So I Married an Axe Murderer. Welcome to the Nostalgia Killers podcast, where we revisit films from our youth to see if they still hold up or should be inserted into the great DVD player in the sky. My name is Luc Londe. I am joined in person by Javier Martinez.
So glad to be back, and hopefully we figured out how to run a podcast by now.
And with this new world of technology, we are joined remotely by Chuck Starzenski.
That's right. Chuck Starzenski here to throw a wrench in everything and have, put my hands into the technological hellscape and manipulate it at my will.
Awesome. Be sure to stick around for our Sonic Death Monkey Top 5, where we talk about our top 5 movies that made us fall in love with a city or location, which I had a lot of fun with. I don't know if you guys did. But let's jump.
I did not.
Sorry. Well, take it up with fucking Stuart McKenzie. Let's go ahead and jump into Act 1. This movie for me is super nostalgic. I remember watching it when it came out. It totally colored San Francisco for me before I ever saw it or got there. But what about you guys? I'm curious.
So I thought I had seen this movie. So this is one of those. This is one of those where I thought I had seen. I swore that I had seen it.
Yeah.
Like you guys were talking about it. We're going to do it for the podcast. I was like, yeah. So I married an axe murderer, of course. And then as soon as I started watching it, I realized that I hadn't. But then as I'm watching it, I'm like, well, maybe I have. A lot of this seems very familiar. But there came a point which I definitely remember. I'm like, no, I have never seen this. I don't even think I've seen a clip of it, so I'm not sure. I think I probably spent more time trying to figure out what movie I was thinking of than I actually spent on preparing my notes today. I was just like, what was I confusing it for?
It's so culturally pervasive that you're unsure of yourself.
So I don't, yeah.
Okay.
But so this was the first timer for me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Chuck?
Yeah. I've gone over this before, but I'm just going to go over it again. 5 movies, 5 days, $5. That was the deal at my local video store growing up.
Yeah.
This is an I need to find a 5th movie before my mom gets upset discount movie. It has an eye-catching title. It stars Austin Powers. It's a no-brainer to pick up,
Mm-hmm.
That being said, and again, I don't want to get too into how I feel about this movie right off the gate, but it's so forgettable that I have instant amnesia every time I've watched it. Wow. I have seen this movie probably upwards of 10 times, but every single time I'm like, is she actually an axe murderer? Let's get to the 90-minute mark and find out.
You're getting repetitive value out of it then.
I am, yeah.
Okay. Well, for me, I've committed this movie to memory. I could probably recite it to you now. I've seen it so many times. And like I said, it completely colored my perception of San Francisco before I was ever there. And I have to say, riding the bus to and from the airport, I still feel that love for the city. Just going over the Golden Gate Bridge, driving by the places that they show in the movie. I don't know. It's just we're kind of doing this for Valentine's Day, and this is just the epitome. I don't know. Like, it's also from 1994, 93, so it's like kind of old, kind of in this weird era too. This is going to be a weird question since Javi hasn't seen it and Chuck doesn't remember it, even though he watched it. Most nostalgic scenes.
Well, mine's easy because again, I haven't seen it, so it's not necessarily a nostalgic scene, but rather my favorite scene was the twist.
Okay.
Yeah, like, because again, by some point in the movie, I thought I had figured out, okay, well, the twist is that she actually is a murderer, right? And so they do the whole, oh, she is a murderer. I was like, oh, okay, just kind of predictable. That's what I saw, and then, well, not exactly. It's not her. It's her sister Rose, right? Yeah. And I was like, what? So for sure, as a first time viewer, thought I saw it coming, and then, they pulled out the rug from under me at the last second. So, I appreciate that. I thought it was, it worked. It worked for me.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll just say right out the bat, like Amanda Plummer, my favorite,
Mm-hmm.
one of my favorite parts of the movie. Just her bringing her dad into it, basically. Just the Christopher Plummer, I forget what the bad guy's name was in Batman, but you are my number one guy. Bob, yeah.
Wait, is that her dad?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yes.
I didn't know there was,
yes. She turns into him when she gets older. Like if you watch her movies when she's watch anything she's done in the last 10 years. It's fucking Christopher Plummer.
Wow.
In a dress.
Okay.
And it's fucking amazing because she chews every fucking scene she steps on.
Yeah, for sure. I was really happy to see her in this. Yeah. Yeah.
Fresh off of Pulp Fiction too.
Yeah, that's all I know her from. I'm gonna be honest. That's all I know her from.
Okay.
So I was like, oh shit, it's a chick. We'll get this later. But I was, oh shit, it's Honey Bunny.
How about you, Chuck?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to use this as a 2-point talking point. So if we're going pure nostalgia, I mean, it's got to be Charlie's father.
Sure.
Like, that is the only thing I can actually remember from every single time I've rented this movie and forgotten.
Yeah,
and then been like, oh, so I married an axe murderer. Huh, never seen that before. Let's pick it up.
Right.
It's literally just Charlie's father. That's like the one like little thing that has stuck in my craw. But if we're talking favorite scenes, I mean, we got to talk about the Alcatraz visit with John Vicky Johnson.
Oh yeah, there'll be a lot more Vicky coming up.
So good. So good.
So good. Oh man, Phil Hartman, such a treasure. Every time we do a film that he's in, especially a film that I forget he's in, it's just like, oh, okay, never mind. We got a movie. Like, here we are. Like, I might be twiddling my thumbs or be like, I don't know about this one, like, or just kind of zoning out. And then it's like, oh, nope. Mr. Hartman's here. He has my full attention.
Yes.
Continue on, Vicky.
For me, it's the opening. It's the poetry slam. What was it? Like the Campbell's cappuccino, the Huggy Bear, and then all the while that's going on is oh damn it, I'm fucking spacing on the other poet. But
they are so good.
An open apology to the aliens who abducted me while they have a panic attack upon their ship. That's iconic for me. I never got into Jack Kerouac. Wasn't like educated on the beat poets and stuff like that until after I got to San Francisco. But that right there, as a kid, I think I was 14 when I watched this. The idea that you could do that as an adult fascinated me. I thought, I want to do that, which I never did. I got the wedding, like the wedding reception.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
the piper who's down and the only you in 7 languages.
So good. Yeah, I've got the Chief and Tony's relationship.
Oh, dude. Yes.
That whole side story of like the Chief trying to make Tony's job feel more like TV. Like every interaction, it's so good. That actually had me laughing. Like that whole bit.
It deserves its own.
Alan
movie.
Arkin is a fucking treasure.
The first time he walks in and like half kicks the door open, like,
hey, paisan.
Paisan.
Kick your spaghetti bending butt back to Milan. I just love the whole movie. Yeah, the butcher shop scene was great when Charlie goes to help, and there's the whole
the
montage. But I guess on to nitpicks.
Oh, I was just gonna really quick.
Unless you got more.
I mean,
I
really,
got
just all the
little things.
cameos.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Like
I was gonna bring
Stephen
those up
Wright
later,
as the
but
pilot.
yeah. Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, this was one of those movies, right? The holy shit, it's that guy. Holy shit, it's that. You know, this was the perfect. We'll get to it, but this was a perfect Channing Tatum.
Charles Grodin, like out of fucking nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So many people.
Oh my god, have you ever flown a plane before? Oh, not at night.
Do it all the time. I've never flown at night.
Oh, so good.
I really like the after their first big date, and Charlie's doing the whole, oh well, we can't kiss because if we kiss, then we'll kiss on the couch, and then we'll, kiss
I thought
on
it was
the
a good
bedroom.
line.
Because it works because he plays it so like not Austin Powers like, not like, oh baby, then we're oh, it's very like it seemed very sincere,
Yeah.
right, until she says, well, I'm trying to spend the night together. He's like, I have no problem with that. And it's so good. That really got me. That was well done.
Yeah, I have I don't know if you guys watched the any of the previews for this movie that they made.
I watched one. It's like,
Did you watch that one?
Mike Myers basically doing like a very hammy, like, hello, I'm Michael Myers.
Yeah,
You might know me
that's
from
the one I was
Saturday
going to talk
Night
about. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a very early. If you watch it, you'll see Austin Powers poking out on Dr. Evil. He's just all of his like hammy characters from those movies are in the movie preview to this movie from 1993. So those have obviously been kicking around in the old tool shed for a long time.
Look, Mike's got one hand, okay? He's been dealt, and he's going to play it every single time.
Yeah.
He's got like 5 characters, and they're all Scottish.
Which I did not look into this because I wanted to have this conversation on air. Is Mike Myers Scottish?
Negative.
He's not.
Canadian.
He's Canadian. Holy shit. Okay.
More Canadians.
Okay. Thought maybe he'd be British. No, Canadian.
No, he had
Okay.
apparently Stuart was modeled after a little bit after his own father, who was not Scottish.
I was going to ask Scottish ancestry. Nope. Okay.
But his friend in school was Scottish. His father was from Scotland and spoke that way.
That just really stuck with him then.
It's basically the one thing he latched onto. And
Okay.
he's not too far off. Like watching other Scottish movies, you can't really find that accent. However, I've been working with a guy in New York who's from Aberdeen. And when I first met him, I thought he was doing a bit from this movie. I thought he was pretending to talk like Stuart McKenzie. But that's just how he fucking talks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, outside the like obvious cartoony stuff, like it's pretty good. It's pretty good.
Yeah, it's fucking spot on after meeting my new friend. It's like, okay, they do speak like that in certain parts of Scotland. Any nitpicks?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Luke.
Yep. Sorry, Luke.
And that's the end of the podcast.
You want to take up the axe first, or do you want me to do it, Javi?
Sure. I'll go ahead and do it. I'm going to be honest. Unfortunately, Mike Myers, dude, I think he's not a leading man.
Okay.
Just in terms of like, well, I mean, even as a romantic comedy, I mean, he's not very good looking. I'll be honest.
Oh.
His haircut was goofy looking.
You prejudiced motherfucker.
And it just, so not only is he not a leading man, but as the source of the film's comedy,
Right.
I don't think this should have been a Mike Myers vehicle, to be honest.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that was probably my biggest problem with this film was that, like, had it been somebody else, maybe it could have worked better.
I'm going to second that, and I'm going to save my opinion for my hot take.
Okay. Once I list off to you guys the alternates, you're going to be like, Mike Myers wasn't so bad.
You're like, Mike Myers is great. Never mind. He's shiny.
No, I totally get it. And I think that's how a lot of people see this. And that's a very big reason, I think, why he only made one movie where he's not playing a character that's not himself. This is the only movie he made where he's not playing some other character that's just cartoonish,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's totally fine. I totally get it.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, oh, is any of my opinion on that because, right? Like, I met him as Austin Powers, And so going, knowing this is
met
before
him as Austin Powers, you ran into Michael Myers.
Heard it here first, folks.
Dressed up.
Yeah, I'm trying to get him. I'm trying to get him on the
mystery.
podcast soon. Hopefully, he's not returning my calls, but that's okay. No, right. So so knowing that this was pre Austin Powers, and seeing those little glimpses of Austin in the movie, kind of going like, oh, so that was really just kind of since day one. That's all you had, huh?
That's interesting. I can totally see that.
It's just very, and then I obviously SNL guy, but it's just very like this movie itself is very like small vignettes. It's all little bits.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe it's worked for other films. I'm not sure, but for some reason in this, I was like, okay, I'm just watching, Mike Myers, get, 30 different ideas for, 2-minute skits of like, okay, well, what can we do here? Like, I'm going to, and
lots of improv. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's, I don't know, maybe it's too early Mike Myers for him to really be that funny. For me personally, I don't know.
That I totally understand. Chuck, probably for you as well, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I actually had no idea that this was after Wayne's World.
Oh, okay.
Like, I would have, if I was a betting man, I would have like put all on the house. I would have just been like, oh, here it is. I'm betting the farm, doing the whole thing on this is pre Wayne's World because he hasn't figured it out yet.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it's not too late. I'll take that bet for you if you want to.
No, I know. Okay. Well, maybe it's a release thing then.
No, I'm fucking with you.
Okay.
No,
but yeah,
because I grew up with Wayne's World like in the 80s before it was a movie, like when it was on SNL. So that was my introduction to Myers. And when he did this, it was very much. It looked like somebody who had talent was making a break for being a leading man, possibly. Like, imagine if he did this and didn't do Austin Powers, but he carried on doing serious dramas with, improvised comedy.
Yeah,
I can see that. Yeah.
I think in those moments where he is being kind of like sweet and earnest, like it works.
Sure.
I'm like, I believe he's as a sweet guy.
It's not bad.
But then he goes in and the whole, now I'm dry humping the bacon slicing machine. And I'm like, oh, okay, never mind.
My mother was a French whore named Chloe with web feet. My father would womanize.
I wonder what world we would live in if like this movie, and again, stop me if I'm stepping into trivia territory.
No, go for it.
What world would we live in if this movie was super successful? Like, we would not have gotten Austin Powers. We would not have gotten Shrek, probably. We wouldn't have gotten like any other countless Mike Myers. I keep calling him Michael Myers.
Possibly, yeah.
If I say his name like that one more time, the actual Michael Myers is going to like pop out of the asylum and stab me.
He's going to burst through the mirror in your bathroom and come out and kill you.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there's that idea. But at the same time, I thought this movie was successful when it came out. That was the general prevailing attitude of the people I watched it with. So it's all like, looking at the box office and everything, it's like, I thought it did better.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's just so many. My only nitpicks are I want to hear the alien abduction poem.
Mm-hmm.
And
I really want to hear that.
And I want two more movies. I want Alan Arkin and Tony in their own show.
Oh,
and then I'll get to my other one later because it's my hot take. But yeah, I think there's like other avenues this creation could have taken.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, and that's the thing is like there's a lot here. Like it isn't all bad. Like it's not like a total like stinker. Like it's not like a bad film at all. It just feels like it feels slightly underbaked is my big thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which it's about to go in if that's okay.
It's a fully crusted sourdough to me, but you guys can have your own opinion. That's fine.
My biggest nitpick, just going to jump in really quick.
Uh-huh.
I abhor beat poetry.
Dude, I had that on mine too. And when Luke brought it up, I was like, I'm sorry, Luke.
I do not subscribe to beat poetry.
No.
I do not stand Mr. Kerouac or any of those people. In fact, I like tried reading On the Road and I got like halfway through and I was like, dude, I really can't do this.
Yeah.
But yeah, the fact that Charlie is a beat poet and everyone is totally cool with that and he's successful pisses me off. Also, this was going to be a hot take, but I'm just going to throw it in here. I would have axe murdered him for slam poeting outside of my window to try and get me back.
Oh,
Like, that would have been a great time to have that be the reveal when he's like, whoa, man, take me back. Like, da-da-da, like doing that with the band. Like, that would have been a great moment for her to throw, for Rose, you know, which is the big twist. Spoiler alert. But to have Rose just throw an axe through the window, like, will you shut the fuck up?
shut the fuck up. Yeah. I hate to use Gen Z slang, but cringe is the only word that I could think of when I was watching that. I was like, God, please stop.
I don't think that's, I mean, not to be, you know, not to admit to being just a piece of shit that's on the internet all the time, but is cringe that Gen Z? I feel like cringe is very much like in my age group as well.
Maybe, I don't know.
I don't think your age group does cringe stuff so much as the Gen Z and the Boomers did. I don't know.
Oh, so you're saying I'm a special little reindeer.
I would say because I had a different exposure to it in the 90s, there was this weird renaissance and resurgence of the 70s and the 50s in fashion and art. And for me, being exposed to this movie first before ever learning about beat poetry, I thought it was cool as shit. I thought it was, it was something to aspire to do. I also never really fell in love with Kerouac or any of the other beat poets, but I just love the music. I love the jazz of it. But that's just me, and that's fine. Nobody else has to like it. That's fine. I think that's the whole point of it. Is like, it's not going to be for everybody.
Oh, absolutely. That's
totally fine.
Yeah. So fuck you guys.
Yeah. And no, I'll totally admit it. You know, my I don't even say hate, but my distaste for it is absolutely rooted in the fact that like I don't get it.
Sure.
So I'm just like, okay, like.
Well, now I have a mission to change your guys' hearts. So.
I did read On the Road, but.
All right. Well.
Last thing, I got.
That friendship's over. Okay.
No. The movie just ends. Which I mean isn't unique only to this movie. A couple other movies do it too, and I also dislike it when that happens. But it just, you know,
you wanted a epilogue.
I don't know. I mean, you know, they get Rose off the dangling building, and then we get literally cut to the beat poetry, and then it ends. And I'm like, okay, like again, as someone who was kind of on the fence about the movie the whole time that I'm watching, I'm like, I don't know if I like it. Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Right? Having a stronger, punchier ending might have swayed me more the other way.
Okay.
But just since it just ends, I'm like, oh, okay, it's just over. Like, there's another movie I just watched.
It's I would put it up there with like we're still dealing with the Saturday Night Live crew, and that's how you end these things.
Yeah, sure.
You wrap it up, and it's in a tight little bow, and it's done. Anybody got any more?
I've got two, really quick.
Sorry, what's that? I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, I must be breaking up. My biggest nitpick, aside from beat poetry, like my actual nitpick.
You have a bigger one? Fuck.
So, my biggest nitpick is Charlie and Harriet should have gotten married sooner. It's called So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Gotcha.
We know they're going to get married because of the title of the film. Have it be a whirlwind romance. Have them just like shotgun wedding. Just get them married, because it feels like the entire movie is just like, okay, when are we going to get to this third act where they get married and then we find out she's an axe murderer?
Right.
So I think like just the title of the film kind of ruins the expectation, basically.
Okay. I wrote
and then my final.
Well, I wrote the trivia like 3 weeks ago, so there might be something in there about that, but we'll see.
I mean, So I'm Dating an Axe Murderer doesn't sound that doesn't sound terrible, to be honest. I think it still flows.
No, exactly.
They could have just named done that. And
but where are the stakes? You can just cut it off.
So I Married an Axe Murderer is like, okay, so they're going to get hitched. So you're just literally like, you know, when's the wedding? When's that happening?
And what's the other one?
This is and then this is a true nitpick.
Wow.
There she goes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah. I like that song, and even I was like, no, dude.
Again. That must have been an expensive fucking song, because it literally plays 4 times. It's the intro music, it's the outro music, and then there's just like a couple moments of dead air, and they're like, fuck it. Let's just play There She Goes Again while he's driving around San Francisco.
Yeah, I think the third or fourth time they played, I think I was laughing. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That's basically.
You guys suck.
I know.
No. It's that was a very. I mean, all of the music from the '90s was played over and over and over without reason. But I get it. I can understand. I like this song.
Oh, it's not a bad song. I'm not saying
I like it,
song.
but not.
But I literally, when I was doing my notes, I wrote, "There she goes again, again,
again." Yeah.
There she goes again.
Right on. You got any more?
That's it.
Okay. On to our rainy day pairing then. I just put Wayne's World. That's pretty much my. I still love those movies. I can't wait to go over those.
Oh yeah.
How about you guys?
No, they're speaking of Wayne's World and guests who are owed an episode. I ran into Campbell the other day, and he was like, "Hey,
that's right,"
and then just like Wayne's World, and I was like, "I know, it's happening."
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yep, gotcha.
I had Austin Powers, an International Man of Mystery.
Right on.
You know, just seeing those little seedlings in this film.
I actually haven't watched those in such a long time.
I would love to do that for I would love to do that for this podcast because
this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just one of those. It's gonna be a super fun episode, I think.
Yeah, maybe we can do them like all back to back. Sorry, John.
I was gonna say, is season 3 the Austin Powers season?
There's three of them. There's three of them.
Movies back to back.
I would be down to do that. I think each of those films is its own thing, and somehow still part of the same. You know, like it's. I think they are all worth revisiting.
All right.
Yeah, back to back. Would be good.
I haven't seen the first one in such a long time.
Oh, I was waiting. So you guys, I wrote 3, and I was waiting for you both to say Wayne's World and Austin Powers so that I can say the third one.
Hell yeah.
Because I had both of those written down. So my third is Shrek.
Yep.
Okay.
I just want to see Mike commit to the bit, basically, is my whole thing. Like, if you're going to do the character of Stuart, do it and, link up with Eddie Murphy and Cameron Diaz and take me to far, far away. Let's just, let's get the show on the road here.
Still haven't seen it.
Oh, wow. You're missing out.
Right on. And that's time for this movie's cocktail.
Yeah. So we, and again, the royal we, because I'm isolated, we are enjoying, this is very fitting because you guys aren't enjoying it, the Bitter Scotsman.
Nice.
So we've got 1.5 ounces of Charbay R5 Whiskey, 1/2 ounce of Scotch, 3/4 ounce of Grapefruit Juice, 1/2 ounce of ginger syrup, and 1/4 ounce of lemon. Shake the ingredients and serve over a rock the size of that laddie's head in front of the telly. Tell him to get down. Oh, have you ever seen something so huge?
That was a bit offsides, wasn't it? He's going to cry himself to sleep tonight on his huge pillow.
Oh, I did love that. I loved... Okay, so I will just... Sorry to, stall here, but just God damn it. Stuart, I wanted to dislike the character. I was like, oh, okay, here we go. It's Mike Myers doing a Scottish accent. But, he's so good. I loved the cruelty of that character, in all honesty.
Yeah.
I enjoyed how much he was into just taunting and abusing his children.
And Charlie, light a match. Right on, Chuck. Thank you very much. I'm sure we'll be able to try that as soon as we're all healthy and well again.
Yeah.
And that brings us to this episode's dead drop, which is Vicky.
I already shit the bed.
Did you?
Yeah, I said that. That was my.
Oh no, it's fine. So this whole dead drop thing is brand new. This is a hidden clue I'm going to be putting into each episode, and we get to choose a funny word or phrase. And sometime in the future, you'll have to refer back to these episodes to solve a puzzle.
Oh.
For a future game, and that is the dead drop. And with that, we'll take our first ad break.
Ad break number 1. And we're back. with everyone's favorite category, Nostalgia Killers Trivia. Today's episode, we're going to learn if our guests have the knack or are about to get the axe.
Thank you very much, Chuck. I'll take over from here. We'll start with question number 1. True or false? Charlie was originally imagined by the writers to be played by Woody Allen.
Oh, true.
God, I hope that's false.
Is that your answer?
Yes.
It's true.
Ooh.
One for Chuck.
Wow.
So this was actually developed in the mid 80s,
Okay.
and it's going to be much darker, and basically just be Annie Hall, but Annie Hall is an axe murderer.
That is I don't want to ruin other categories, but that's a giveaway for my Blue's Clues meets Blue Velvet.
Too obvious, huh?
Yeah.
Right
also,
on.
the title makes so much more sense now. So I married an axe murderer.
Yeah, it was going to be very much more about anxiety than comedy.
Yeah.
Very good. Question number 2. While filming the butcher shop scenes where Charlie helps out, Nancy Travis accidentally chopped off a tip of her finger while being distracted by Myers. True or false? Nancy Travis is still missing that part of her finger.
True.
True.
False. Sorry, guys.
Damn it.
They managed to sew it back on the same day.
Oh, wow.
That's one of the benefits of being in the city, I guess. Question number 3, true or false? Sharon Stone turned down the role of Harriet because her idea of also playing Rose was denied. True or false?
Wait, like she wanted to play both characters?
Yeah.
According to...
Just like Myers plays himself and his father.
Okay. False.
I'm gonna say true just to make things interesting.
It was true.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wow.
Sharon Stone was the original pick, and yeah, she wanted to have like some writing, of her character. But it did not happen. Question number 4. Phil Hartman's role as Vicky is highly memorable, but which actor was originally cast as Vicky? A. Leslie Nielsen, B. Gary Busey, C. Chris Farley, or D. John Candy?
John Candy.
I'm gonna say Leslie Nielsen.
Chuck has it.
Jesus.
Javi could not have been
whoa.
wrong. I'm so sorry, dude. There were actually 2 right answers. There's Leslie Nielsen and Gary Busey. Were considered for Vicky, but both turned it down. Strangely enough, Phil Hartman's not the original pick for like all of the movies he's in.
Oh yeah.
He's the fucking cleanup batter. I don't get it. Like I would go to Phil the first fucking time, every time.
Yeah.
I would too. But he's always just, you know what? That's who he is, though. He's just like, you've got a script? Let me read it, kid. It's like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I guess, man.
Small soldiers, not a problem. How small are they?
Question number 5, true or false? Stephen Wright was not originally cast as the pilot, but Mike Myers recognized him wandering around one of the sets and asked him to be in the film. True or false?
True.
False.
It is false.
Hey.
Chuck again. Chuck, I think you've gotten every question. Almost.
Well, that's because I'm cheating.
So put down ChatGPT. All right, question number 6. Before they realized that Myers could also play Stewart, who did the producers pick for the role of Stuart McKenzie? A. Billy Connolly, B. Sean Connery, C. Brian Blessed, or D. Martin Short?
Okay, this is blowing my fucking mind right now.
Any of those answers is wild.
I just assumed Mike Myers was like, hey, everybody, check out this cool Scottish accent I can do. Isn't it really fun? Isn't it super funny? Shouldn't this be my personality for like the next 40 years?
Yeah. As the story goes, they did a table read, and they did not have their Stewart character yet. So Myers just read for him, and then everybody kind of liked it,
No way.
and that's how that happened.
I'm gonna go with Billy Connolly.
Okay,
I am also going to go with Billy Connolly.
you're both wrong. That's too bad.
Fuck.
Fucking Sean Connery.
Wow.
Yes. If you watch the movie, he's the first picture you see
Right on the
Stewart's wall of Scotch fame.
Scottish Wall of
Yeah.
Fame.
Yeah, fucking
Sounds
Sean Connery.
terrible, though.
He was also in Zardos, though, so don't put it outside the realm of possibilities. Chuck's having a hard time with this.
I'm having a real hard time with that. Like, I can't picture, like, yeah, like, that just takes, like, I feel like that would suck so much comedy out of the film.
Yeah, I do believe this was early days in the production. Again, like, it was before they realized that Mike Myers was going to do both. So this is like, reaching for the clouds, as far as like what you can get and do. But yeah, fucking Sean Connery, man. Question number 7. True or false? Despite the comedic tone of the movie, the original script was inspired by a true story of a Black Widow serial killer covered by the same writers that broke the Zodiac Killer story in San Francisco.
True.
I'm going to say true. We were obsessed with, like, Black Widow women in the 90s, so I'm going to say true.
You're both so wrong. I'm sorry.
Fuck!
Damn it.
And
There's just something in the water then, I guess.
Yeah. No, well, when you read the real story, it's that the original writers were being kind of incels. They sat down in 1986 and 87 and wrote a script like, women hate me. No women like me. There's no way this could work out. So they just like assumed that, women were it seems, it's actually quite misogynistic. But yeah, sorry. That's the original script. I say the original script.
Yeah.
But that's not the one you see in the movie.
Okay.
Because Mike Myers came on board and rewrote the whole fucking thing. But that's another story. And not in trivia. Question number 8. Which alternative title was on the original script by Robbie Fox? Was it A, It's Complicated, B, Mother Was Right, or C, The Man Who Cried Wife, or D, They Call Me Vicky?
A.
I'm going to go C.
Damn, Chuck got it.
Holy.
The Man Who Cried Wife. That's such a
That's terrible.
incel title. I know. It's fucking awful. Question number 9. With a budget in 1992-93 of $20 million, what did the movie make in its first month? A, $25 million, B, $50 million, C, $11 million, or D, just $2 million?
I'm going to go 2 million.
I'm going to see 11.
Javi gets one.
Yeah, suck it, Chuck.
Yeah, just $11 million. It was apparently a flop. Could have fooled me. I don't remember anyone not liking this movie. Everybody I knew loved it. It was on TV all the fucking time. Like the people talking about it, going raving, But I don't know. I guess I was living in a bubble.
As someone who wasn't there when it came out, like, I mean, obviously I was alive,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Someone who didn't see it when it first came out, I just assumed it had to have been a flop because this is the only time I've ever seen Mike Myers come out of his shell.
Okay. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. It's the only movie Mike Myers ever made where he's not doing some wacky character that can't be, attacked or I don't know, held to him personally. I guess we left that up to the love guru. But question number 10: True or false? Myers and Alan Arkin clashed so violently that Arkin was changed to a character that wouldn't have to share any scenes with Charlie.
Oh, I'm going to say true because he's not credited.
Really? He's not? Oh.
Yeah, a lot of the cameos aren't. It's weird. Even the speaking ones, which normally is the rule.
I'm gonna go false. They both seem like two nice guys to be. Yeah, I think that's false.
Well, it is false, but it's not because they're nice guys.
Oh,
But that's all I got to say about that.
I'll speak on that. I've seen quite a few interviews with people saying that Mike Myers is actually an asshole.
Oh yeah.
oh really?
It was-
No way.
Yeah.
During the production of the film. What did I do? Okay. During the production of this film, it came out in the newspapers that there was trouble in paradise because Mike Myers and the director were not even talking to each other. Because Myers was apparently a control freak, and he was like just taking over the movie.
Interesting.
Yeah. Didn't I write that? Well, it comes up later, I think. I wrote something, but I thought it was one of the trivia questions I wrote, but I guess not. Oh, I think it was one of the ones I made up. Anyways, that brings us to the end of our trivia. Thank you for playing, Javi, but Chuck has a full 5-card hand.
Thank you so much. I'd love to thank Google. I'd love to thank IMDb. No, just kidding. I am not cheating. Yeah, just some wild guesses. And
Yeah.
guessing right.
Yeah, this was actually there were some of these I did make up, but yeah, it was difficult to find a lot of trivia for this movie. It's a little weird. I don't know.
Well, you did a good job. So thank you.
Thank you very much. And it's at this point we'd like to thank our executive producers, Javier Martinez, as always. Thank you. And if you too would like to be an executive producer and have your name shouted out on an episode, you can help us out by paying $15 a month on our Patreon. Patreon.com/The Nostalgia Killers Podcast. And with that, we'll take our second ad break.
Ad break number 2.
And we're back with Act 3, the award categories, where we always start with my new band name. I'm curious to see what you guys have.
Well, I got a cool little band. You might have heard of them. They're a thrash metal band. They go by the name of Prison System Bitch.
Nice.
Yeah.
One of their members has to be called Vicky.
3 of them are called Vicky, actually.
They're all Vicky.
Yeah.
Did you guys catch Vicky's real name? John Johnson.
John Johnson, yeah.
John
They
Johnson.
didn't even try. They printed a name.
Well, that's why everyone calls him Vicky, because it's just, what kind of name is John Johnson?
They printed a name tag and everything. It's fucking. Anyways, I have Being Electrocuted. That's my band name. With their hit single, and that's it. It was horrible. I love Debbie Mazar so much.
Yeah, that was a neat.
I wish she was in this more. She would have. I don't know. I don't know. I love her. Every time she shows up in one of the movies we do.
So my band is Dreams of Ralph. They're a vaporwave 80s synth revival act.
Nice.
With their hit song, Everyone Calls Me, in parentheses, Vicky. Off of the album Never Done It at Night.
Oh, got any more?
Well, my
That's
band. I got one. So my band's hit single is "Pissing in Ocular Cavities," which that was so.
Did not remember that. That was so visceral. Like I was like, "Holy shit! This is a different movie."
I hope it's an acoustic ballad.
Off of their album, I went with Low Hanging Fruit. Their album, An Open Apology to the Aliens Who Abducted Me and Whom I Inflicted Great Destruction Upon while having a panic attack aboard the mothership.
There it is.
Parentheses, autobiographical.
Autobiographical. Oh, man. Yeah. I fucking love this movie so much. Anyways, on to the Roger Deakins Would Be Proud Award for cinematography. Any standout shots for you guys?
I had to give it to all the really cheesy wipes. I just love like the really bad, like kind of film school wipes of like using the cable car. And there's like a scene where Charlie turns and he like causes the wipe of the scene. And like, yeah, just all of that kind of stuff. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know where that came from because that was like not a part of any other related SNL film movie. I don't know. Maybe it was like film schoolish. But I thought they did a good job. I never noticed it until this time watching it, and like I can see it. But
It was cute. It was quirky.
I liked the Rhodes crane down and handoff at the beginning, even though they didn't finish. They kind of like cut before they entered the building, but they started the crane up, and then they hand it off to a human as it walks in the door because you can see it go handheld.
I had the psycho killer POV of Harriet following Charlie on their honeymoon.
Okay,
Yeah, just a classic, stalker follow.
there's such good.
It's always nice to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, there were good tropes in there for sure. Is that Channing Tatum in a dog collar award? Got to be a lot of these.
This whole fucking
How much
movie.
time you got, Luke?
I know. Let's go through them. Let's name them off. We got Amanda Plummer,
Yeah.
Alan Arkin, John Haggerty, who was I didn't write down Michael Richards, but he's the guy that's playing opposite Michael Richards.
I wrote down Michael Richards.
Kind of the more chubby guy.
Oh, the two
Yeah, he
police
looked
officers?
really familiar.
He's in Wayne's World. He's the guy who lost his job
Okay.
at the counter. He's in a huge character actor in a ton of movies from the 80s. John Haggerty. We got Stephen Wright, Charles Grodin.
Yeah. That was weird. I was like, whoa.
That guy had more fucking, I don't know, balls and testosterone. Like, he didn't need to be in this movie. He was like, I don't know how they got him.
I got Lunel.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was the
yeah,
African American police officer.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was, and she was a lot younger too. So I was like, oh, that was funny.
Also, how weird is it that she's in 2 movies that feature Alcatraz?
Oh, that's right, because she's in The Rock, right?
She's in The Rock. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does she just not leave San Francisco?
Maybe she's
She must be a native.
Yeah, maybe.
Like, I'm curious. Yeah.
But so many. This is supposed to be like a very special cameo, but this whole movie's cameos.
Yeah.
Yeah. The whole film.
I believe Rod Stewart was supposed to be the wedding singer,
Oh,
and he had to cancel, and they had to like shuffle and like figure shit out and make Stewart do the wedding singing thing.
you mean they just heard Mike Myers' impression and they were like, yeah, just do that. The wedding too.
Probably. Call
Like,
up
wait a
Stewart.
minute. Rod
we don't
Stewart's
need him.
expensive. Why don't
Yeah,
we just get?
it's cheaper. He's going to save so much money not getting Rod Stewart for 30 seconds. Yeah, there's so many. Such a good, just a SNL film trope, basically having so many great actors in it.
Greg German, the hotel concierge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's in
I wrote him
Talladega.
down
He's in
too, but I
Talladega
didn't
Nights.
write down
Okay.
his name.
He's the NASCAR guy, the boss guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and a bunch of stuff too. Yeah.
Guy Pearce is trash. A controversial hot take. This is my second part to the other movie I want to see, but I think Mrs. Mackenzie and Tony need their own movie
Oh yeah.
where they go on
I
their
wanted
own
to see
their
that
own
love
honeymoon.
affair.
Oh. It was. We say it's like, what a handsome wee bastard you turned out to be.
Which is so creepy because that means that she's been like keeping an eye on him since he was a child.
I wonder how much of this stuff was in the script and how much I'm spacing on her name, but she's great.
Brenda
Fricker?
Fricker.
Brenda Frecker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I wonder how much she like just did it because she wanted to
Oh, she's great.
get it
She's
on
great.
with LaPaglia. How about you guys? Hot takes.
I pretty much said it earlier, but my hot take is that Mike Myers is the biggest reason that this film doesn't work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not a Harriet on this one. You're
No, I mean,
more of a
I
Rose.
could see people arguing, the opposite, like, oh, he's the only part of the movie that, or he's the best part of the movie. And for me, it's like, no, I think you take him out and swap him out with a handful of other people and it works a lot better, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, my hot take is basically seconding Hobby's hot take. Yeah, Mike Myers is a character actor through and through, and without something to do, he's just flat and uninteresting.
Yeah.
Like, he should only do sketch comedy adjacent movies, basically.
Yeah. I disagree, but just on this one occasion, just on this one movie. After this movie, he shouldn't do anything but character actors. I totally see it though. The only reason it's odd for me to hear people seeing it either for the first time or in a different light is that this movie has just always been in my life. Everyone I've spoken to has had the same exact opinion. It's a great movie. It plays well. It works well. But now that I'm listening to you guys talk, like, yeah, I can see how it doesn't jive with the, Mike Myers being the leading guy. It doesn't have a lot of attractive qualities other than being a smartass, really.
Like I think take literally anybody from the Cable Guy, and they would be great. I think Jim Carrey leading this is great. I think Matthew Broderick leading this is great. Jack Black leading this is great. I'm like, I think they all work.
Strange you say it. Those guys were all thrown through before Myers got it. Those guys were named. There was this, like I said, this movie was in production from 1987. There were, I think Gary Shandling. I don't know. I don't know if you guys. Chuck knows. Do you know Gary Shandling?
Yeah, I do.
He was going to play Charlie.
Interesting.
But he's going to be in that earlier Jewish version of the anxiety character that Woody Allen didn't get.
Honestly, I think that might be more interesting.
Kind of, yeah. I would like to see the other interpretation of it. Yeah, I get it. It's cool. You guys are just jerks.
Yeah. Couple dicks right here. Couple unpeeled bananas, yeah.
That brings us to our Blue Velvet meets Blue's Clues. You guys got any interesting mashups?
So you guys can help me out because I know there's like 20 of these fucking movies, and I couldn't for the life of me remember a single one other than Ghost. So I had Married an Axe Murderer meets Ghost, as in after being murdered on his honeymoon, Charlie tries from beyond the grave to help Harriet's next husband from meeting the same fate.
Oh.
And I was trying to think, I'm like, I know there's like 20 like from beyond that grave helping helpers movies, and I just couldn't think of.
That makes me think of Ghost Dad. You guys ever watch that Bill Cosby Ghost Dad?
I've never seen it, but that movie was heavily marketed to me as a child, and I just
all right. You need to watch that, and then you get to watch Ghost right next to it, and then you'll see what I'm saying, and you'll get Javi's idea in your mind. Oh God, how about you, Chuck?
Yeah, so I thought I was smart, but apparently I was just on track with the incel writers of the film. I said, so I Married an Axe Murderer meets Annie Hall. Just in story structure, though. Just in story structure. Don't worry, we're keeping Woody Allen far away from this movie.
Yeah, it was going to be fucking Woody Allen and Diane Keaton as Harriet. Like they were taking the same two fucking people. Wow. Yeah. And I thought, wasn't Annie Hall like 85? Wasn't it like just right before?
75.
Was it 75?
Yeah.
No way.
Damn. Okay.
Really?
But anyways, Harriet becomes the main character and is in the Woody Allen role and is constantly breaking the fourth wall to like tell us about her relationship woes and not knowing that Rose is behind them the whole time.
Interesting.
And then we have like she's trying not to mess it up with Charlie kind of thing, but then, Rose starts to interfere and like scares Charlie away literally with like an axe. And she's like, I don't get it. I thought he was the one. I just don't.
The original idea, I think, was solid. It might have played well. I got kind of a mix with Sherlock Holmes.
Oh.
So Sherlock Holmes intentionally seduces and marries axe murderers to suss them out and solve cases. Kind of a
porno Sherlock Holmes.
Well, sort of. I was thinking more of a Riggs from Lethal Weapon 1 where he's kind of suicidal. He just kind of like throws himself into the case. He's like, he doesn't care if he lives or dies, but he has a romance and finds a murderer. Anybody do an a la carte? Did you guys see that one?
I saw it, but I didn't know what what you meant by it.
So you can twirl that down if you.
Oh, I can click on it. There's a thing.
You got a little arrow.
Oh.
So the a la carte section will be all of those little audibles, those awards that we sometimes use. So you can a la carte pick, any of that you want. I forget which ones we have. I only wrote down 2.
Hans Gruber and Michael C. Morona.
Yeah.
I'll be adding a few more awards to this section because I feel like I'm the asshole that does and you know what? I'm just going to take this moment to...
Oh, that's great. Let me know. I'll put it in the template. It'll work. So yeah, when you get to this, you can twirl it down and pick one if you see one that works.
Well, I guess as long in the spirit of, embracing new formats, I'll throw an a la carte in there. I'll just do the classic Julia and Chuck,
Oh, yeah. We need a cock talk.
Dick hang alert, for lack of a better term. Was not expecting the scene where Mike Myers just drops Trow completely, hugging the actual
Ralph.
Ralph, yes. I was like, I know the character's name. I'm not looking at my notes.
Yeah. That was a lot of Charlie butt there.
A lot of Charlie butt.
That's for sure. But anyways, let's go on to do we call Jules and Vincent? I got a sense of what you guys think about it, but I'm going to let it live.
So sorry, Luke.
That little moan is all you have to do. Nah, go for it. What do you guys got? You can kill it?
Yeah, I'm going to kill it. I just said that it's the building blocks of what's to come, basically, for Mike Myers movies.
Yeah.
And the reason why I can't remember renting it ever, I mean, I can remember physically renting it, but why I can't remember the film after renting it is because it just personally doesn't have staying power for me, aside from a few key moments. And it's also a movie that I feel really benefits from having cameos because the chemistry between Harriet and Jesus Christ. Charlie, yes, I am blaming the sickness, not the 2
Alcohol?
beers I just drank on an empty stomach. But yeah, Harriet and Charlie's chemistry is just not really there for me. And I don't know. It just is it feels like a first draft.
Sure. I understand. And I'm thinking right now what this movie would be like with none of the cameos or B stories. It'll be pretty fucking dry. That's for sure. It is supported by all those characters and actors.
I took the middle route, so I'm gonna let it live. But because I had alluded to, it's kind of just a series of vignettes almost. So I feel like this. I think, and I'm going to test it out, but I think this is one of those movies that you can plug in at a party in the background, and you can kind of tune in and out.
Oh yeah.
As the party goes on, and I think there's moments of this film where wait, everyone's like, hold on, everyone be quiet. He's doing the Scottish accent again. We got to listen to this, and you guys can have a good laugh about it or whatever, or you guys can all laugh at Mike Myers' butt, whatever, So I think it's a good background hangout party movie potentially.
Yeah.
I don't think I would just sit through and just watch it
You
again. I'll be honest.
Hear that song 3 times.
Yeah. Take a shot every time you hear her. There she goes. So yeah, again, I don't think I'm going to watch it all the way through ever again, but I am open to throwing it on at a party and see what kind of a reaction to Gardner's, and maybe nobody laughs. Maybe I kill it then after that,
Right.
or maybe enough people laugh where I go, oh, perhaps I judged you too harshly.
There's going to be so many angry listener at you guys.
I hope so.
I'm just fucking with
Come
you.
at us. Give us some engagement.
This is so. I was not expecting this at all. I'm blindsided by.
Wow.
Because it's not. You guys' views are completely valid. It's just that I've never even thought of critiquing this.
To be fair, I'm on I'm on a little streak, so I'm actually glad. I'm glad that Chuck was on Team Kill this time.
Well, no,
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think Javi's liked a movie we've done in 6 months.
So it was nice to hear Chuck on the same boat. I'm like, oh, thank God. Okay, I didn't want to be that guy again.
now I'm really curious because we almost did have Taylor on here.
Yeah.
How fun that would have been to sit her next to you again.
Oh, yep. I mean, off the top of your head, do you know how she felt about
I
it?
don't know. That's what I'm going to ask her. Like, it'd be great to follow up
Yeah.
with her and see what she,
I would love to
what
do
she
that, yeah.
wanted. Yeah. Well, that brings us to our Sonic Death Monkey top 5, which apparently everyone else did not have fun with. So
I had plenty of fun. I'm just pulling your leg, I'm sucking your unpeeled banana,
all right, I think I would dig that out of the off the air part and put it in the commercial.
I know, right? For context, really quick.
No.
No.
Okay.
All right, our Sonic Death Monkey top 5 films that made you fall in love with a city or location. And I'm going to start with my number 5, which is kind of taking the piss, but Waterworld.
Oh.
Yeah.
It kind of made me want to go out to sea.
Yeah.
And it's not the only one. But how about you, Chuck?
I'm going to start with a caveat. I left a movie off of this list because I was like, well, that's a Luke movie, and Luke's going to have that as his number 1 or his number 2 at least. So if you don't say it, then I'm going to say 6. But my
fine.
number 5, because I couldn't have the one that I know you're going to take, is Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Ooh.
Like, just like seeing LA in the 80s like that, like just, the palm trees, like seeing little snippets of Sean Penn at the beach, things like that. It was just like, oh yeah, like
Right.
I really want to be in SoCal. This is awesome.
Yeah, that's true. That's definitely a location movie.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. This is probably my weakest top 5 ever, with the exception of even number 1 is like so low hanging fruit. But anyways, that being said, for my number 5, I actually have Life of Pi, and specifically Pondicherry, India, because that was an area of India that I did not know about prior to the film.
Oh.
And unfortunately, I had just kind of had the same, the same image that all Americans get of India. I'm like, this is what all of India, is. And then but no, actually there's plenty of other places. And
Sure.
And then not that there's anything wrong with that image that we get, because I'm super interested in that as well. It's in my bucket list of places to go. I would love to go to India someday. But yeah, just besides the kind of dark colonial history behind that area, there's still some sort of fascination with it, and just like the kind of what it's become today. And yeah,
Sure.
it looks beautiful, just in a picturesque way. So
I promise you I will watch Life of Pi too, so I can be like, hell yeah, Javi. Sorry to the world, I haven't watched the movie yet. My number 4, this is part of a series. I'm going to let you guys pick which one, but Indiana Jones.
Oh. I'm going to pick Temple of Doom for you.
Exactly right. No,
You really like that temple, don't you?
It's The Last Crusade. It's something I watched, and then I went to Germany and saw all the castles and all the stuff. I didn't see any Nazis, not back then. They're making.
Don't worry, they're there.
Oh yeah, they're making a comeback.
They're everywhere. They're making a
tragic.
huge comeback right
But,
now. Yeah.
Fucking hell. How about your number 4, Chuck?
Speaking of Nazis, I went with Atomic Blonde, and also this is apologies to the German people. I went with Atomic Blonde because of its beautiful depiction of Berlin. That movie finds a way to make East Berlin look sexy.
It does. I love that film. I want to watch it again too.
It's so fucking good.
Yeah.
It's like, I get that it's like, basically, what if we made Charlize Theron like a,
Jason
John
Bourne.
Wick character, Jason Bourne character, but like,
Yeah.
I don't fucking care. It's still great.
It did its own story, I thought. It's still great and did its own action.
Yeah.
And it was inventive and had good cinematography. And like you said, made Berlin brutalist, disgusting Berlin look good.
Yeah. So good that like when I went there, I was like, oh my God, that's that thing that was in like Atomic Blonde. That's awesome.
Nice.
yeah, for my number 4, I have Fearless and China.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's just again, it's not like it's a major, the location's not like a major plot point per se to the film necessarily, but just I forget who the director and cinematographer are, but just all the gorgeous like landscapes
It's
they have,
great.
it looks so good. And it was one of those things where we're like, wow, like, hey, I kind of want to, just a small portion of the film takes place in doing his training, like out in the rice field areas, but like just like I want to see more of like that, like not non-urban
Sure.
like China, and it's just like
Yeah, they did a wonderful job of
gorgeous.
making the gorgeous looking scenes. Very nice. My number 3 is the Goonies.
Ooh.
I have a warm spot for Astoria, Oregon, and Goat Rock, and just this coast in general with all the rocks. I always want to go out and like find a coin that has the holes so we can line up all the rocks and find the pirate cave. But yeah, that's my number 3. How about you, Chuck?
I'm also always on the hunt for a one-eyed Willie. But my number 3 is
fucking on fire tonight, man.
I know. This is what happens when you keep me isolated. But no, my number 3 is Vegas, baby. I'm going swingers.
Nice.
Yeah. That was my, as someone who had never been to Vegas until they were 18 years old, like that was my introduction to Vegas. I was just like, oh my God, like I have to go. Like seeing Vince Vaughn just exude excitement for the place. And also like, to be fair, it's also an LA movie, but like really like the heart and soul of the film is Vegas.
Yeah,
and so just seeing
the depressing
them
parts in LA.
Yeah,
where
seeing them just guerrilla shoot across Vegas.
Yeah,
gotta give it to them.
I only learned recently that film was all guerrilla. No permits, no permission.
Nothing.
Fucking love it.
My number 3 is The Mummy.
Oh, little Egypt for you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, just, as a small child, that's kind of just the first kind of thing that opened my eyes up to like, oh, like Egypt, that's, I don't even think I'd learned about Egypt in school yet at that point. So that was kind of like my first, like, ooh, even if a lot of it was, CG, green screen, but like just the idea of like, oh, okay, like there's this place, and then, obviously now, being older and having looked more into that area of the world, it's still something that fascinates me a lot and that I would love to see also.
Sure.
At some point. I know my brother-in-law went recently, and yeah, he had a really good time, and he was like, yeah, dude, it's pretty sweet out there. Yeah. Hot as fucking balls.
Oh yeah.
But he said he had a great time. So
very cool. It's also for me a place I still want to go visit and check out. Not for the mummies, but my number 2. Oh, go ahead, Chuck.
I was gonna say not even a little bit for the mummies.
All right, a little bit. That's also an episode I wasn't on, and like a movie I'm not too into. But my number 2, Ronin.
Oh, that's such a good pick.
That is what Paris really looks like. And they didn't go to like any of the super fancy tourist attractions in the movie.
Yeah.
The two times I've been to Paris, I love that city for all of the parts where everyone else is not. Like Eiffel Tower, Louvre, fuck those places. There's a million other avenues and streets and museums to go see. And they're all wonderful and dirty and filthy. And just, I fucking love that city.
My number 2 is, it's kind of cheating a little bit, but it's Akira. So just like Tokyo, how it is painstakingly drawn in that film, how Tokyo is a character as much as Kaneda and Tetsuo and everybody else.
Sure.
Like, it's just so gorgeous.
Yeah.
I mean, I could list countless other films that take place in Tokyo, but like that one above all, since I was a kid, I was like, oh, I have to go to Japan eventually. Mm-hmm. Like I have to make it there before I die.
What I love in those anime are the locust sounds. I grew up for a period of time in Kansas where they have the same bugs, the same sound. So that wee, the sound you hear, that is such an environmental, atmospheric sound for me in like all those movies. What's the other one? Kenji and there's a lot of Kenjis. Evangelion. Neon Genesis does a really good job of making that environment and like capturing Japan, I think. But yeah, I totally agree. I love it.
Great pick. For my number 2, different movie, same place. I had Las Vegas, but I had The Hangover. I'm not even. Yeah, I just I
still after watching The Hangover, you still want to go to Vegas?
I still wanted to go, man. Yeah, right. What came out 2009, so I was like in high school. I was like, oh man, a couple of years till I get to go, and I mean, yeah, dude, I had a great time in Vegas, and I
think we should make a pilgrimage someday and do a podcast there.
It's a short 10 hours away.
You're right.
It's an easy drive.
It's a short 3-shift drive away. Yeah.
God.
Exactly.
It's far.
Hey man, and having gone recently, it still holds up, Chuck.
Yeah, it really does.
Vegas, baby. Woo!
My number one, Captain Ron, which is one I hope we get to do.
You're blowing my fucking mind right now. You haven't said two. I have like, if I was a betting man, I had 2 movies that were going to be on this list of yours, and neither were. And I feel so slighted right now. That's okay. Sorry. Captain Ron, as you were.
Oh yeah, no. Have you guys seen it, right? Have you seen it?
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't.
Okay, that's Kurt Russell, Martin Short. Martin Short's family inherits a boat. It's in the Caribbean. Kurt Russell's the captain they hired to drive them around. Instead of taking them all the places they want to go, he just goes the places he wants to go. Just goes island hopping in the Caribbean, which is exactly what I did in my youth.
Yeah.
And watching that movie as a kid, I loved it, but I never intended to live that life. I just ended up doing it. And Captain Ron, my number one. How about you,
Wild.
Chuck?
All right.
Blowing Chuck's mind.
So I'm going to say my number one, and then I'm going to say Luke's actual number one.
Yes.
My number one is very low hanging fruit, but I didn't even know it was a place until I saw the film. So I'm going to say my number one is In Bruges. And the city of Bruges. Just gorgeous, like old school European, cobblestone roads and like ancient buildings and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And like, as someone who has been to Bruges, the entire time I was there, I was just like, oh, holy shit, this is where Colin Farrell was trying to fuck that lady in front of the midget. This is where, they chased each other up the tower and like, oh my God, this is so great. Also, yeah, sorry if I just got us all canceled by saying
No, it's fine. I recently rewatched that and I was surprised about how non-PC the movie is itself, but I don't think it needs to be corrected. I think it's that way unapologetically without trying to be offensive.
Yeah. I think I should be corrected though, because the correct term is little person, and I apologize to our listeners. That was a slip, and you know what? Strike one.
Yes. Yeah, you better watch it, buddy.
Exactly.
I forget
but Luke's real number one, which I had on my list, and I was like, well, I can't have that on my list because that's Luke's number one, is fucking Amélie for Paris. How is that not your number one?
I can totally see that. And it's very much up there. If we wanted to go through all of my favorite Parisian movies, we would be here all day.
Okay.
Have you seen Angel A yet?
I have not.
I have a copy of it. I'll give it to you guys. It's Besson's. It's like one of Besson's early films. It's black and white, kind of hard to watch, but it makes Paris look fucking amazing. And it's like all the parts you don't care to see as a tourist. Once again, just like the best parts of that place are not the tourist attractions. But I could totally get it. Amélie, there's the Micmacs, there's anything by Jean-Pierre Jeunet, Marc Caro. I get it, Chuck. Sorry to disappoint you, but I only had 5 slots and I had to do some jokes. So chill the fuck out.
I guess I will.
Yeah, for my number one, I had Lord of the Rings, New Zealand.
Oh yes, fuck yes.
Yeah.
And it was one of those that.
Why didn't I think of that?
Yeah,
that's like Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Let's go to New Zealand, guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember finding out, as a young child, just like, wait, like that's a real place, like that's not.
I know.
Because that's kind of when
it's not CGI.
CG started to get like really good. So I was like, wait a minute, I'm like, that's real.
Yeah, it was pretty minimal.
And then I'm like, well, it's got to be, movie magic. And then I remember, Google imaging, somebody's like shitty quality telephone. Like, nope, it looks the exact same on their shitty telephone. Like, wow, like that is fucking cool.
Yeah, I could totally get behind that. Yes, New Zealand is obviously a gem of the earth. Yeah, and I would love to go myself. Awesome, man. Awesome picks, everybody. Did you have any more, Chuck?
No, that was it. I could keep guessing films that I thought you would.
What were the other ones?
But those are my top 5.
What were the other ones you thought I was going to pick?
The Amélie thing really got me. I was like, That's got
Sorry, man.
That's okay.
I'll re-edit it to make it say Amelie. Anyways, if you're still listening, thank you for listening. We appreciate everybody, and welcome to season 3. I have been Luc Londe.
I have been Javier Martinez. Oh,
it's fine.
Oh,
I didn't.
sorry.
It's hard to point without a camera.
you're right.
I know. I was like, there's no cue.
I know. I should have stuck with our rotation. My bad. I've been Luc Londe.
I have been Javier Martinez.
I have been Chuck Starzenski, interrupting as always.
And we have been the Nostalgia Killers.
There she goes again.
Oh, fuck.
You can fuck right off.
Woo!
Yeah.